Yeah. Hi there. I like coffee. Coffee is good. So today I'm going to be reading out a comic book called The Avengers issue 200 from 1980. Beforehand though, I'm going to read out a warning. So, warning. The content in this issue may be triggering and distasteful. However, I'll point out that it is part of history and it's a comic book, and that is the context needed to justify my readings of said issue. I don't wish to offend, but this is a pivotal story in Marvel Comics history at a time when the best editorial decisions may not have been made. It's also a good look into history to see what not to do that which we have done in our past. Viewer and listener discretion is advised. All right, with that said, let's have a read, shall we? So, here is the issue. It is, I love reading comic books. I love the smell. I don't know what the name of the feeling of when you smell a comic, but it's, I just love it. It smells old. Oh, it's wonderful. So, all right, let's get into reading this, shall we? Right. So, it's issue 200 from 1980. So on the cover, you've got a few characters. You've got the Vision, you've got Thor, Wasp, Captain America, Wonder Man, Miss Marvel, Hawkeye, Beast, Yellow Jacket, aka Ant-Man, Scarlet Witch, Iron Man, and Jocasta. She's a synthetic android created by Sue Storm. Alright, so page 1. So here's a bit of knowledge for you too. I only learnt this a few months ago. So to identify any comics, even like postal labels, when looking for the year or the make, it's called an indicia, right? Because it says the Avengers Volume 1, number 200, October 1980 issue. Right, that's called an indicia. Fun fact. All right, so page 1. Stan Lee presents The Mighty Avengers. The child is father to... question mark? For generations, the symbolic root values of the American people have been embodied in the phrase, Mum, apple pie and the girl next door. Wars have been fought for these ideals. Presidents have been elected over them. Obviously, motherhood means a great deal to most Americans. Probably the rest of the world. So why then do these 5 heroes, these Avengers, seem upset that one of their own is about to give birth? Why is their excitement tinged with a subtle subconscious shadow of fear? So Captain America says, I know Jocasta's the right one to assist Dr. Blake. Now Dr. Blake is Thor, so Donald Blake, it's kind of like his pen name when it comes to Earth, to hide his identity. Her actions have the precision of a computer, but isn't there something we can do? Asked Captain America. Easy, Cap. You're starting to sound like it's you who's the proud pappy to be, says Hawkeye. So Iron Man says, Captain America says, sorry Hawkeye, but I can't help being a little nervous. I'd never thought I'd see the day a child would be born in an Avengers mansion. Iron Man says, I hate to put a damper on things, Cap, but it hasn't been born yet. And we've no assurance that it will even be a child. What else could be born? Interesting. Has the event occurred? Asks Scarlet Witch. Has Miss Marvel even given birth? Hawkeye says, no wonder. You and the Vision are in time. It's about time. Oh, good, Captain America. Captain America, Has there been any progress in determining the cause of Carol's unusual ordeal? I'm afraid not, Wanda. All we know is that little Miss Marvel was able. I'm afraid not, Wanda. All we know is what little Miss Marvel was able to tell us. So we've got an asterisk here. Miss Marvel revealed her Carol Danvers identity to the Avengers last issue. Okay, so in Avengers issue 199 from 1980, that's when Miss Marvel, aka Carol Danvers, revealed her identity. That's cool. That 3 days ago she became pregnant. Hold on. So she's about to give birth, but she became pregnant 3 days ago? That's quick. And in the time since has undergone a full 9-month gestation period, having gone into labour only a short while ago. Alright. Beyond that, Carol insists not only that she doesn't know who the father is, but that there couldn't even be a father. Okay? Like Mary. The Scarlet Witch responds with a subdued, I see, while inside the guttering surgery chamber. Clamp, please, asks Donald Blake, aka Thor. My cybernetic sensors confirm your diagnostic readouts, Dr. Blake. The birth process is following a most unusual pattern. I know, Jocasta. There seems to be no trauma occurring at all. And if Miss Danvers is feeling even the slightest pain. Miss Marvel, Carol Danvers, says, No, Doctor, I feel no pain. So do what you must, and please hurry. I just want this to be over. Fair enough. Anyone in childbirth would want it to be over. Not that I know. Sorry we're late, folks. We'd lost track of how late it had gotten. Wait a second, I've got a child. Yeah, I know how bad it would be. But I'm not a woman, so I don't know. Anyways. Our fault, says Yellow Jacket. Ooh, this is exciting. Has she, ? Asks Wasp. Not yet, Wasp. But it should be any minute now, says Captain America. Accent on the now, Cap. Look. It's starting, Jocasta. Stand by to assist. Yes, Doctor. That's it, Carol. Your constrictions are perfect. Just keep pushing like that. But I'm not pushing, Doctor. I'm not pushing at all. You're not? But how could... I mean, that's impossible. It... Oh, there's an advert. Awesome. Self-defense. Kung Fu Karate. The Human Torch saves the valley. Oh, okay, it's like a mini story within the comic. Cool. I like the Human Torch. So back to the Avengers 200 from 1980. It's a boy, says Donald Blake. All right. Hey, how wonderful. Can we come in now? Asks Wasp. And moments later, thank you, Dr. Blake. My pleasure, Iron Man, I think. Gucci, Gucci, says Beast to the newborn child. Careful, Beast, you'll give the kid a Sharo complex. Sharo. What's Sharo? Sharo. Okay. He's so tiny, says Wanda. Oh, isn't he cute? Yeah, and frisky too. I'll bet he'll be quarterback for the Jets before he's 16, says Beast. That's right, Captain. The infant seems normal enough. Nevertheless, I want you to check him out thoroughly. Obviously, there's something about that child that just isn't natural. Look at them, Vision. Even under these bizarre circumstances, birth seems so natural to them. How incredible it must be to be born, to be small, to grow. Even with all their frailties, their weaknesses, I can't help feeling that in this universe, humans are something very, very special. Says Joe Custer, the synthetic android created by Sue Storm, or Wasp. She was created by one of them. Vision says, "It is life that is special, Joe Custer, in whatever form it takes." "Hey, where's the new mummy?" asks Wasp. "I had Wonder Man take her up to the room. I thought she should rest." "Good idea. I'll just go see that she's tucked in okay." "Oh, how caring." "I think the rest of you had best leave too. Iron Man, Yellow Jacket, and I have some tests to run. And I think the results may prove rather intriguing. Soon, ... Mind if I join the procession, Wandy?" What's procession mean? Anyways. "Not at all, Jan." Maybe like process. Yeah. Can I join the process? Yeah. "I just wanted to congratulate the proud parent. It's really a beautiful baby, Carol. You're so lucky too, ... "Lucky?" asks Carol. "Wasp, think about what you just said." "I've been used. That isn't my baby. I don't even know who the father is. So if you want to help me, please, just leave me alone." Okay. Silence shrouds the hallway, a solemn, sodden blanket. I love the smell of comics. As in the landscaped terrace behind Avengers Mansion, a quiet of a settler sort prevails. Big words. See, I love reading comic books because it improves my speech, my reading ability, and my confidence. And also, I love to share marvelous comic stories. "You seem calm, my wife, at ease with yourself," says Vision. "That's because I am, darling. Ever since I reconciled my conflicting emotions concerning parenthood, I've not only felt more peaceful, but stronger as well." Excuse me. "Then you feel no regrets that we have produced no offspring?" asks Vision to Wanda. "None that matter," says Wanda. "A child is a thing of fragile beauty, something that must be nurtured and protected. Like this rose." So they've just picked the rose off, killed it, but they're talking about it must be nurtured and protected. It's ironic. "And the love we feel for each other, which is, I realised, the most important thing in my world. And my love in mine." Sweet. "Joe Custer, is something wrong?" asks Wasp. "What? Oh, Wasp, I'm sorry. I was just trying to sort some things out. I mean, I know I was programmed for human personality patterns. Yours, in fact." Yeah, that's right. So it was Wasp that created and programmed Joe Custer. "But there's still so much about human emotions that I don't understand." "Don't worry, lady. You're not alone. There's still a lot about human emotions that we humans don't understand. Ain't that the truth?" Meanwhile, in a well-equipped recreational den nearby, Hawkeye and Beast are playing 8-ball. That's awesome. 8-ball in the corner pocket. The hard way, says Hawkeye. Thump, katak, pock. Great shot, Hawkeye. That's two malteds I owe you. Okay, like alcohol, malteds, malt, single malt, maybe. Thanks. It's just something I picked up when I was working the carny circuit. Ah. So Hawkeye used to be a carny. Interesting. I don't suppose you care to make it a double or nothing? Asked Beast. No, asked Hawkeye. Sure, Hawk. I'm a glutton for punishment. Rack 'em up. Okay, loser gets first shot. Like, hey, what's that? Asks Hawkeye. Beast has got like a little phone thing, computer, calculator. I don't know. I'll have a look. It's a TI 59, actually, top of the line from Texas Instruments. I'm calculating the angles. Fair enough. Oh, come on. Get serious. Pool isn't something you learn in arithmetic class. It's a game of skill, of instincts, of... Oh, wow. So Beast is just... Wow. Attack. Tick. Bump. Tick. Yeah. What do you call it when you... Whose turn is it to break? He's broken. In 8-Ball, he's the guy that breaks. There we go. Thank you, English. Well, I'll be. I've been sharked. Aha, okay, right. So I know that's a pool term when you're sharked, when someone's better than you are, but they hide the fact that they're really good at pool. So Beast says, they don't call me the Peter Benchley of 42nd Street for nothing, pal. I understand that reference. So Peter Benchley wrote Jaws, Creature, and Beast about sea monsters. So when he said he's been sharked, yeah, Peter Benchley. That's hilarious. Care for one more? Say, for a year's salary? No way, Beast. I only need to get burnt once to know a fire is hot. Suit yourself. Me, I'm going to check on how Miss Marvel's kid's doing. Yeah. And seconds after a VidCom channel has been activated... What? Asks Beast. You heard correctly, Beast. In the last hour, the infant has grown to the size of maturity of a child 2 years old. I see. So 3 days after the pregnancy, the child is born, and then in the last hour, they've grown to 2 years old. So quick growing. Heartbeat's steady, and his other organs all seem to be functioning normally. But then, what could cause such an incredible growth rate, Doctor? Asks Yellowjacket to Thor. I don't know, Mr. Pym. This whole situation is a new one on... ... Just a second, it looks like he's trying to speak. Wow, a 2-year-old trying to speak. At that and that indeed appears to be the case, as the starring curly-locked infant begins to murmur, shaping his tiny lips. And putting every bit of the awe and wonder in his wide blued eyes into a single whispered word. Change. Interesting first word. Interlude 1. That same moment, blocks to the south as a graffiti-grimmed double C local grates to a halt at the Wall Street subway station. An early riser, Raoul Kramer, it's a name lions give to their infants, Raoul Kramer, steps out onto the platform. Yawn, another day, another rapidly shrinking dollar. Sorry, pal. Every day it's the same old thing. Take the train in, open up the candy store, sell the Don Jones big wigs their Milky Ways and their Times. Time magazine. You'd think that in a burg this size something unusual would happen once in a while, but no. Day in, day out, the same old. Hey, what's that? What's going on? This ain't Wall Street. So, I mean, he said it himself. Nothing strange happens, but now... Oh, but it is, Raoul Kramer. It incredibly, impossibly is. So what is happening? It looks like time is changing. More adverts. That's cool. Task Force. Mighty Marvelous. Win yourself a Toys R Us shopping spree sweepstake. Wow. Cool. While to the north in a familiar parkside mansion. Miss Marvel, it's me, Wonder Man. Knock knock. No, he doesn't say knock knock. He goes thock thock. It's apparently the sound of someone knocking. Come in, Simon. So Simon Williams is Wonder Man. That's his, human name. Wonder Man is superhero identity. Hi, I just dropped by to see how you were, ... doing. Hey, do you really think you should be up and around so soon? Asked Wonder Man to Miss Marvel. No problem, Simon. I feel fine, and Dr. Blake has given me the clean bill of health. Terrific. So how about coming down to take a look at your son? He's really an extraordinary little ... No, he's not my son. I don't want to have anything to do with that. That thing. Come on, Carol. My eyes may look strange, but they see perfectly well. And right now, they can see that you're frightened. Just plain old run-of-the-mill scared, and you've every right to be. Yeah, she's just given birth an hour ago. We don't know what's happened to you any more than you do, but ignoring it won't help anything. Though maybe facing up to it will. What do you say? The blonde heroine says nothing as she mentally balances Simon Williams' words. While in a corridor below, a blue-furred beast works at balancing a more tangible burden. Take me out to the ball game. Buy a whole bunch of food. That's what he's singing. So he's taking the child out to a ball game. That's hilarious. Hi, Junior. Just look at all the nifty, play toys I got for you. Aren't they nice? Nice? Yes, assortments does seem rather complete. Hold on, he's making full sentences. This is a little child that was born an hour and a bit ago. Gestation. Wow. But I'd really prefer a laser torch and whatever electronic components you could share. You're talking, says Beast. I assume colloquial English is satisfactory. Gee, thanks. That's spooky. That it is, Beast. Not only has the boy's physical form increased to that of a 5-year-old, but his intellectual capacity has grown far, far greater. My development isn't all that puzzling, Doctor. I'll be happy to explain once I receive the materials I requested. And by the way, my name isn't Boy, it's Marcus. It's Marcus. He's like maybe 2 hours old. He's the age of a 5-year-old. He's got intelligence, and his name's Marcus. Alright, Marcus. But you're going to answer some questions first. Very well. I shan't be agile enough to operate some of the mechanisms I need for another 20 minutes or so anyway. What would you like to know? For starters, where did you come from? My mother. Yes, we know that, but that is, how were you conceived? By my father. Smart kid. Well, of course, blast it. But who is your father? I am, replies Marcus. Like Benjamin Button? How was he conceived? Now see here, young man, says Captain America. Easy, Cap, says Iron Man. It's obvious that he's not going to give us anything he doesn't want to. Why not let him have the materials, let him tinker. Maybe we'll get some answers then. Well, alright, but I don't like it. Well, what would you like, Cap? Excellent, gentlemen. I assure you, you'll not be sorry, says Marcus. Interlude 2. Nassau Country, just west of Queens, where Miss Marjorie Hansley makes a daily trek to the family mailbox. 3 weeks ago, Marjorie had entered a publishing company sweepstakes, the grand prize of which had been an all-expensive paid trip around the world. Now, as she recognises the return address on a long brown envelope, her heartbeat begins to quicken, her mind filling with visions of strange and exotic places. That is, until she turns back to her pleasant and almost paid-for suburban home and realises that trips to strange and exotic places are not always what they're cracked up to be. Wow, she looks back to her house, and it's not her house, it's a goddamn dinosaur in the prehistoric lands. Jurassic Park, eat your heart out. Yet again, meanwhile, ... I guess Miss Marvel isn't going to show... Tell me, Hank, you're an old married man. How do you ever come to understand women? I don't, says Hank. What? But you and Jan... Simon, I love Jan and I accept her for what she is. But to be honest, the day someone comes out with a book on what really makes women tick, I'll be the first in line with my checkbook. This was the 1980s. You know, it's a subject of its time. While in the adjoining workroom, still on the subject of understanding... This is incredible. Not only has Marcus' physical stature reached that of a 12-year-old, but his intellectual capacity now surpasses anything short of an Einstein. So it's taken 2-3 hours, and he's the age of a 12-year-old. From pregnancy to conception to birth, it took 3 days. Wow. I'm starting to wonder if this puzzle really requires the talents of Dr. Donald Blake or the mighty Thor, because they are one in the same. Dr. Blake, alter ego, the mighty Jim? Oh, just an asterisk. And in a nearby lounge where apprehension is also beginning to form. No, Hawkeye, I don't think it would be prudent to put Marcus in a cage, at least not yet. Marcus in a cage? He's not in a circus. Okay, Cap, but don't say I didn't warn you. Yes, sir, the second one occurred just moments ago, says Jarvis. He is Iron Man's butler. Thanks, Jarvis, I'll tell Cap right away. Tell me what, Shellhead? So Captain America and a lot of the other Avengers call Iron Man Shellhead, because he wears a shell on his head. It seems we've been getting some prank calls on our public line. Prank calls? Asked Captain America. Yes, according to Jarvis, the latest was from a man who said that his delicatessen has just been robbed by Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. So a delicatessen is like a deli, so it's the full name for a deli, delicatessen. So Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid is a movie. So obviously time is coming in on itself with dinosaurs and weird stuff. So who knows what's happening. And nearby, even as Captain America turns to question Jarvis. Vision, may I come in? Asks Jocasta. Certainly, Jocasta. I think you might find this of interest, says Vision. I've run a radioanalysis on the boy called Marcus, and preliminary findings point to a subtle energy aura that is growing as the child grows. Further, its flow is an outward one, indicating that its source is within Marcus and could well be the reason for his astonishing growth rate. You're very resourceful, Vision. Perhaps I could help too. ... Darling, I'm sorry if I interrupted, Jocasta. I didn't know you were here, Vision. Yellow Jacket sent me over with these latest readings on Marcus's physiology. Yes, good. This is just what I needed, says Vision. Wonder, I've developed a most fascinating theory as to the nature of Miss Marvel's child. I must tell you about it. Sensing in her husband's well-modulated tones and excitement that would escape most others, the Scarlet Witch listens intently. So much so that neither she nor the Vision even notice when Jocasta turns and softly leaves the room. And that thing, the metalloid would be Avenger, is the harshest hurt of all. And that thinks the metalloid would be Avenger. And that thinks the metalloid would be Avenger is the harshest hurt of all. While half a mansion away, the main hall. Jan, asks Miss Marvel. Why, Miss Marvel, are you sure you're well enough to... ? I'm fine, Jan, physically. But in my heart, I feel like a fool. I'm so sorry I snapped at you like I did. It's just that, with what I've been through lately... Forget it, Carol. If it had happened to me, I'd be in a rubber room by now. Come on. Let's go see your kid, says Janet Van Dyne, aka Wasp, to Miss Marvel. Moments later, Dr. Blake, Miss Marvel would like to see Marcus. Is it okay? Donald Blake says, I don't see why not, if she's up to it. But even Carol Danvers herself doesn't know that, and so she steels herself, bracing for a resurgence of the loathing and humiliation she had felt before, waiting for the swell of fear and answer she knows will follow. But doesn't. For as she steps forward to face the slender young man who awaits her, she feels instead an odd sense of calm, along with an unexplainable and undeniable attraction. Hello, says Marcus. Mother? Wow, he's matured a bit. He's got a goatee. I see. He looks like he's at least a 30-year-old. Comic books for sale. List expires December 31st, 1980. Well, time to get the DeLorean out and check him out, eh? I know you, but how? I mean, you're my... asks Miss Marvel. Please, Carol, don't be upset. Everything will be fine once the flux is negated. What's the flux? Flux capacitor? Flux? What does he mean, flux? Asks Yellow Jacket. And how did he know Miss Marvel's name was Carol? Asks Wonder Man. This is getting freakier and freakier, says Wasp. I don't understand any of this, Marcus, but most of all, I don't understand what I feel about you. I know, and I'm sorry, but I promise that all will be explained after I've finished. But suddenly, Bra-broom! Whoa, explosions! It sounded like Avengers Mansion is under attack, says Miss Marvel. Oh no, not so soon, not so soon, says Marcus. While above, the ceiling, says Iron Man. Oh my word. Whoops. Look out, says Captain America. Oh, yeah. Cap, come here quick. Either that last explosion scrambled my brain, wow, or our backyard has turned into a battlefield. Wow, there's a great big giant panel of like a Godzilla dinosaur and UFOs attacking the city and an old school helicopter. Wow, that's cool That's out of this world. And an awesome battlefield it is. Sleek spaceships, shuddering biplanes, and an obviously irate specimen of Tyrannosaurus Rex, all lashing out in a conflict that would rival the logic of a lunatic's nightmare. I love that panel. I love that the dialogue bubble. Yum. Jarvis, tell Wonder Man and Yellow Jacket to stay with Marcus. The rest of us will deploy outside. Orders Captain America. Whatever this madness is, we've got to stop it before someone gets killed. The battle is joined, and the first to enter that fray, Krashish, the invincible Iron Man. Krakish. A dinosaur and a biplane, eh? Too bad I don't have King Kong on my side. But my only allies in this face-off are skill, determination, Caprock, and a heck of a roundhouse left, says Iron Man. Meanwhile inside, while inside, thanks English, I do not comprehend the situation, but the ramifications are clear. Iron Man requires aid. Then go, darling. I'll check the information scan, try to find out what's going on. However, what the Scarlet Witch actually does find proves to be something else altogether. What the? To stand to, tainted damsel. So tainted because Scarlet Witch is essentially she's a witch. So they say most witches are tainted, like cursed, and like hex, right? Because that's what Scarlet Witch's powers are. They're hex powers, because she's a mutant. Your blood, hued garb marks you for a sorceress, a devil, and as a loyal knight of the good knight George, 'tis my bounden honour duty to run you through. There's a knight on a horse. He's obviously out of his time. The steed gallops, the warrior lunges, and Wonder Frank stands fast, not even pausing to ponder the absurdity of the scene. She summons forth the natural mutant energy that courses through her lithe and nimble form. I think lithe means like tiny or slender, and sends it streaking outwards in a probability altering hex configuration. As a result of which the deadly lance suddenly softens, snaking backwards, and throwing the would-be attacker rudely, impotently to the cold stone floor, while contemporaneously continue your assault, Iron Man, says Vision. I'll see that these flying craft cease to annoy you. Thanks, Vision. That'll give me time to finish my 1-2 combination on the dinosaur and send this overgrown alligator to Saurian Snooze Land. Oh, that's great. As inside, before rushing reinforcements can reach an exit. Hey, what the blazes? Asks Beast. Blazes is right, Beast. Those are fire arrows. Blast, I told you that kid was gonna cause trouble. We've no proof that Marcus is the cause of this, Architect. No, we've no proof that Marcus is the cause of this, Archer. We've no proof that Marcus is the cause of this, Archer. Now forget your prejudice, 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 prejudice. I'm giving up.
Prejudice.
Thank you. Prejudices, yeah. Prejudiced. What is it?
Prejudice.
Prejudice.
Yeah.
Prejudices.
That's
Okay. We've no proof that Marcus is the cause of this, Archer. Now forget our prejudice. 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 Prejudice? Prejudices. Why is that word so hard to say?
Weird one, eh?
Yes, it is. And string your bow. We've got to keep these invaders from reaching the others. Tiny arrows in the air, sings Beast. Surprise, pal! It's National Pocahontas Week. I don't care what Cap says. Marcus and his freaky machine are behind this. And if no one else is going to do anything about it, thinks Hawkeye, then I will. More adverts for comic books. Awesome. Now hear this. It can't be a mildly magnificent Marvel mag unless it says Marvel up in the covered trademark. And if you're too lazy to go poking around at trademarks, you just have to memorize all our Titanic titles. We don't care which system you use, just so long as you're never fooled by the shoddy brand imitations which are popping up like pimples. So face front. We're marching to new greatness in this, the Marvel Age of Comics, and it just won't be a parade without you. Aw. Alright. Oh my gosh, it sounds like the whole house is coming down, says Donald Blake. Marcus, we've got to get out of here before... ... No, I must finish this machine. Don't you understand? I must. Well, someone has to do something. Too bad Jarvis never arrived with Cap's orders for me to stay behind, said Wonder Man. But he did, says Wasp. Miss Marvel says, never mind, Wasp, I'll stay with Marcus. You two better check the rest of the mansion for damages. And you, Dr. Blake, had best stay in this reinforced storeroom. You'll be safer here. Thanks, Miss Marvel. I couldn't have timed that better myself. Quickly, with movements worn smooth through repetition, the crippled Donald Blake raps his walking stick sharply on the floor. And in an instant there stands in his place a figure of unquestionable majesty, the living Norse god of thunder, the mighty Thor. Every time I hear the mighty Thor talk, I can just hear Chris Hemsworth voice. Yeah, it's awesome. Meanwhile, 100 feet above. It's hard to read. Hard to read, the dark side is. Tell you what, Iron Man, you don't let Cap know I've gone AWOL. I'll wipe these spaceships out in no time flat. And Wonder Man gets blasted with some ray. Your intentions were noble, Simon Williams. Who's that? I don't know who that is. Is that Joe Caster? Well, no, that's Vision. It's Vision. But in your zeal, you neglected to note the futuristic fortifications that have appeared on the ramparts of our mansion. Their presence there is dangerous, and it is obscene, says Vision. Phew, maybe I should go back to the beginning, back to being a coward. This hero bit does have its drawback. Huh? Some sort of prehistoric snake wrapping all around me. Yuck, says Wonder Man. I never did like reptiles, and since it looks like this creepy crawly's cousin is giving Iron Man a hard time, maybe I'd do well to take out 2 birds with 1 throw. Nice one. I understand that reference. Stand thee back, my friends, and let thy foes taste the sting of my mystic mallet Mjolnir. Thor, I was wondering if you'd show up. I am here, and I have seen thy charge. The lad called Marcus, a boy whose visage doth strike a familiar chord in my soul. I love speaking Thor. I love Thor speak. It's hard to do though. Yet such curious circumstances must stand in abeyance until I have rendered yon time stolen menaces incapable of further harm. Standing staunchly in the lightning-lit sky, the valiant thunder god whirls his unique Uru hammer in ever-quickening circles above his head. Creating a raging funnel from the very air and suspending therein, bizarrely variegated army of attackers. I love these big words. I hate them, but I love them. I love them because I can look them up and use them. Sound smart. Until such time when Asgardian magic should be withdrawn by its golden-haired instigator. However, not all skirmishes are being fought on a grand scale, on so grand a scale. I assure you, sir, I've never even heard of this Rochefort gentleman. Who's Rochefort? You've a glib tongue, Toady. You've a glib tongue, Toady. Oh, he's talking to someone that's out of time. But Richulet's spies are superbly trained, perhaps. Superbly trained. Perhaps, were I to pick that facile tongue with my blade, you aren't going to do anything with that face full of ants that Yellow Jacket called upon, says Wasp. Stand back, Jarvis. One of my disruptive blasts should take this joker down for the count. Arr! Thank you, Master, Yellow Jacket. But though I usually abhor violence, I do hope you'll allow me. I do hope you'll allow me. Yeah, Jarvis has whacked the out-of-time pirate-looking motherfucker. While elsewhere, your enchantments are strong, milady, but so is my blade. Easy, friend. I don't think you realize what you're getting into. Apparently not. Yeah. So she's magically... Oh, cool. Right. The ye old knight's blade is broken. Sharish. It's the sound of it breaking, apparently. Really, I thought knights were supposed to be chivalrous, but you're nothing but a big bully, says Jocasta. Another knight, a female. Clack ink. But nay, I am Sir Cecile of Clampett, and I'll not be bested by women. Wow, again, it's the subject of its time. Zounds, a crimson sorcerer and a mystical metal maid. I have never before encountered the like. I yield. Wow. Sorry for butting in, Wanda. I know you can take care of yourself, but that's all right, Jocasta. I appreciate the thought, and I promise that if you let me live, I'll never throw my porridge at the Queen again. Is that a euphemism? Porridge. And nearby, sheesh, this place is getting crazier than the funhouse at Coneyland, like Coney Island, because he used to be a carny. Yeah, okay, so he was a carny at Coney Island. Tongue twister. Take that, barbarian. Brack. While even nearby, but I can't leave you. I don't know why. Please, you must leave. I have to activate the machine, says Marcus. But I just can't, says Miss Marvel. If in that case, I'm afraid I've little choice. Woo! Forgive me, mother. So Marcus has put his hand on Miss Marvel's face and gone, woo! What's that going to do? Forgive me, my love. He called his mother his love. Weird. I knew it. I knew you weren't kosher. You little scum. Oh, kosher. I knew you weren't kosher. You little scum. I may not have been in time to save Miss Marvel, but by all that's holy, I'll see that you and your blasted machine never hurt anyone else again. Hawkeye shoots an arrow at Marcus. What are you... ... Ah. Whoosh. Ah, okay, Hawkeye shoots his arrow at the machine. Oh no! No! Boom! No! Marcus is crying. I see. Okay, Curly Top, put the lady down gently. Yes, I shall, since that had been my intention all along. For I knew that the energies from my machine might prove dangerous to humans, and so had planned to take Miss Marvel to a place of safety. You see, it had been my wish that no harm should befall anyone. But now, Bowman, you'd be well advised to try and kill me, for if you don't, then by the 7 levels of limbo, I shall kill you. Sounds fair to me, Buster. However, what the... says Hawkeye. Hyung. Stay thy hand, youth, lest the son of Odin stay it for thee. Cool. Thor and Iron Man have come down. The visage hath stirred memories, boy, and I wouldst know their source. From whence did thee come, and why? I'll tell you nothing, says Marcus. You will have to kill me first before I kill all of you. No, Marcus, you'll kill no one. What, mother? Stay out of this. I don't understand you, but I do know you somehow, and I sense that you know more than a life graciously than an Avenger would. Well, you're wrong, so you'd best tell your comrades to defend themselves, because I will destroy anyone who gets in my way. I will. In that case, Marcus, you can start with me. You? Yes, these are my friends. Miss Marvel is referring to the Avengers. And you're going to have to go through me to get to them. But, says Marcus, oh, Carol, why? I wasn't really going to kill them. I only wanted them to kill me. You what? Asks Bowman, Hawkeye. I couldn't bear the thought of going back, of living like I have ever since my father left, ever since the last days of... Oh, here we go. Here's the reveal, maybe. Immortus. Who's Immortus? Immortus? Asks Iron Man. And curse me for not naming the resemblance sooner, for 'twas not so very long ago that the Time Lord and I last clashed. A Time Lord? Immortus, the Time Lord. Wow. In Thor 282, to be exact. Oh, I should put that on my comics wish list. Thor 282. Alright. But Marcus, I've never even met Immortus. How could he... He didn't. I did. What? More ads. Heroes World of superhero goodies. Show them your heels. The Juice says. Is that O.J. Simpson?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Wow. Here we go. Bit of backstory. Please hear me and try to understand. My father was an incredibly powerful man. He ruled the land of Limbo, a realm of no time where things never change. He was also the undisputed master of time, a responsibility as awesome as it was lonely. Once his solitude grew so oppressive that he determined to temper the emptiness by taking a mate from the world of his origin, Earth. Okay. Oh, God. And to that end, he travelled the time stream, eventually coming upon a scene of tragedy and upon a female victim who, he knew from viewing the future, was not destined to survive. He pulled that woman from the chill waters, saving her, and so he thought to himself. Okay. Once back in Limbo, through a combination of gratitude and the subtle manipulations of my father's ingenious machines, the woman fell in love with him. My father then created within Limbo a pocket of change. Ah, that was Marcus's first word, change. A bubble where time flowed naturally. It was there that I was created. Okay. We all know that, how that happens. But how? I mean, I was the one who bore you, wasn't I? Yes, in a manner of speaking, but let me continue. Here we go. My father elected to raise me in the pocket of change so that I could develop, could grow. He seemed happy, but there was one factor he hadn't taken into consideration. The possibility that there might be a limit to the time that mortals could spend in limbo, though he seemed to accept it quite stoically when my mother was ripped back through space-time to her own world. Wow. I'm afraid I wasn't so complacent years later, however, when Immortus himself disappeared, never more to return. This aspect of Immortus' persona died with Kang back in Avengers issue 143. Oh, another one to add to my list. So Kang the Conqueror, technically he is Reed Richards' grandson. Kang the Conqueror is awesome. He's all about time. I wandered the unchanging vistas of Limbo for what may have been an eternity, feeling lost, betrayed, and terribly alone. Even escape to my parents' world was denied me. For as a product of Limbo, my mere presence on Earth would cause an irreparable disruption of the local time stream. But then I hit upon a plan. Since I had been born into limbo, why couldn't I be born onto Earth? And by accelerating both the birth and maturity process, perhaps I could negate the time flux distortion before it became irreversible. I knew that an exceptionally strong woman would be required for such an undertaking, and through numerous time scans I determined that Miss Marvel's the powerful combination of Kree and human strengths would be the perfect vessel. Wow. Thus I plucked you from the flying craft you were operating over what you call New Jersey in issue 197. Oh, wow, there's like 3 comics that I can add to my list now. And brought you to Limbo, and while I knew Immortus's device could bend your will to mine, wow, I didn't want you that way, and so I set about winning you. Good word for it. Okay. To aid my purpose, I brought others in from Earth's time continuum. I love the word continuum, because between continuum and vacuum, it's the only English word with a double U. Not like W, but U. To my knowledge, anyway. I had Shakespeare write you a sonnet, and Beethoven performed an original prelude in your honour, while Marie Antoinette herself clothed you in the finest of satin and silks. Finally, after relative weeks of such efforts, and admittedly with a subtle boost from Immortus machine, you became mine. He technically mined. Yeah. And in the pocket of change, we became one. Through the electronic wonders at my command, and with my own inherent powers, I was able to implant my essence within you, causing a condition that resembled pregnancy. I feel sick. And then, even as my corporal form faded into oblivion, my father's preset mechanism masks your recent memories and transported you back to your flying craft a mere seconds after you had left it. Once reborn, I knew that as my artificially accelerated growth progressed, the limbo effect would become stronger. But I had hoped to build a machine to negate the effect before I reached full maturity, and the effect became permanent. Then I could have lived among you, using my knowledge of time and history to better the human race. But when my machine was destroyed, I knew there was no time to build another before the limbo effect became fixed. Therefore, since I cannot and will not cause the destruction of a world just to realize a dream, my options became either to return to limbo, living in solemn, solitary hell unto infinity, or else goad you Avengers into killing me and thus sparing me. That makes 0 sense. Now, I have no options. Geez, Marcus, you should have told us. And what then? Would you have trusted the son of one of your oldest enemies? Well, no matter. I'll go. Perhaps I was destined to be alone. No, Marcus, you won't be alone. Carol? What do you mean? I mean that while I still don't know what I felt for you in limbo, some of that feeling still lingers. And that, combined with the fact that by some bizarre logic you are my child, makes me feel closer to you than I've felt to anyone in a long, long time. And I think that just might that might be a relationship worth giving a chance. So I'm returning to Limbo with you, says Miss Marvel. What, Miss Marvel? Are you sure you know what you're doing? Not entirely, Iron Man, but I've been denying my feelings for quite a while. Maybe it's time I started following them. Say goodbye to others for me, will you? Wow. But I mean, well, I guess I could, says Iron Man. If thy decision be made, then there be naught that the son of Odin can do save offer thee transport to thy destination. Thank you, Thor, says Marcus. Once again, the mystic Uru hammer wheels through the air, opening a god-wrought rift in time and space. And with the last flash of a grateful smile and a wink of a hopeful eye, the night, he just disappeared. And he called us enchanted? The three figures within the swirling spiral age are gone. Be careful, Han, huh? By Jove. The musketeer, where'd he go? Hey, what happened to Tonto and the all-night war party? Asks Captain America. Asks Beast. I don't know, Beast, but we'd better reconnoiter the area, just in case. Vision, am I going crazy, or did that air spout just pop out like a soap bubble? Your sanity is sound, Simon Williams. My visual scanners confirm your observation. I can't help it, Shellhead. Hawkeye talking to Iron Man. I just feel rotten. If I hadn't destroyed Marcus's machine, maybe things would have happened the same way, Hawkeye. There's no way of knowing. We've just got to believe that everything worked out for the best. Yeah, I guess you're right. That's all we can do. Believe. And hope that Miss Marvel lives happily ever after. Finish. Next issue, The Cleanup. And the return of an old and adamant villain. Don't miss chapter 1 of This Evil Undying. So yeah, that was Avengers issue 200 from 1980. That was interesting, to say the least. Bit of comic book history. Join us next time. Maybe a light-hearted read. This is Wookiee signing out of this world.